It's playoff time, guys. Mac and cheese, Mac Jones. We got mac and cheese for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner today. This is Mac Jones Day. Happy Saturday, everyone. It is the first day of Wild Card Weekend, a weekend that's going to be filled with a lot of exciting games. We are live on YouTube and TikTok right now. Congrats on getting nominated for one of the best TikTok accounts. I already voted for you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kylo. Thanks for tuning in, man. Happy Wild Card Weekend. It's mac and cheese, Mac Jones time, best time of the year. I would argue, Washington, WalterPicks, Avery, I would argue that the best time of the year is fantasy football draft season. But I think this is probably a close second. There's a lot of games to get through. We'll, of course, talk about all of them on this live. Thank you for tuning in. What do you think about the Cowboys 49ers game? Yeah, we can start with that one. A comment in the TikTok live. I think that game's going to be close. I think the Cowboys offense is better than the 49ers defense. And I do think that the Cowboys defense, their passing attack is good. Their passing defense is good. And I think that's going to be the reason the Cowboys win the game. So I am taking the Cowboys. We are live on YouTube and TikTok. If you come to the YouTube live, you can see my picks against the spread for every game in the playoffs. You also can see my favorite plays on DraftKings and FanDuel. But yeah, I think the Cowboys beat the 49ers. And honestly, I think the Cowboys are the biggest dark horse team to make it out of the NFC. But the biggest reason I don't think the Cowboys will is Mike McCarthy. I just have very little faith in Mike McCarthy. DraftKings lineup, biased Pats fan. I am a biased Pats fan on this wonderful wildcard weekend. I do think that the Bills should be favored in this game. I think the Bills are better at basically every part of football than the Patriots. They have a better offense than the Patriots. They have a better defense than the Patriots. Their special teams is even better than the Patriots. They don't have as good of a coach, though, and I think it's going to be very difficult to beat the Patriots twice in a row. And I also think that the strength of the Patriots lines up well with the weakness of the Bills. The strength of the Patriots all season has been running the ball. It's really the only thing they've had success with. So it's mac and cheese, Mac Jones today. But really, we know what the Patriots are. The Patriots are a run-first team. And even without Isaiah Wynn, they've had effectiveness against the Bills. Damian Harris averages over 5.5 yards a carry against the Bills. There was a game where every single person watching the game knew the Patriots were going to run the ball, including the Bills, and they were still effectively running the ball. I think that is their hope today against the Bills, and definitely it's a weakness for the Bills' defense. Bucs aren't beating the Cowboys with all their injuries. Yeah, certainly the Bucs could lose to the Cowboys. Certainly that could happen. 100% that could happen. I have been predicting this Chiefs-Bucs Super Bowl rematch for the playoffs. I could see the Dallas Cowboys beating the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers defense is actually healthier than it's been almost all season. The offense for the Bucs is struggling, but the defense is actually as healthy as it's been. 49ers are going to win. Yeah, the 49ers versus the Cowboys is definitely going to be close. It's definitely going to be a close one. Thank you for leading me to a fantasy championship. That's what I'm talking about, guys. And guys, we have been nominated. We were nominated for an award by the FSGA, the Best Social Media Award. It literally takes 2 seconds. Anyone can vote. Anyone can vote. And the link to that is in the TikTok bio. It's also in the YouTube description if you're watching live on YouTube. If the Bucs make divisional, then I think the defensive starters will be healthy. Yeah, I agree. Well, they're going to make the divisional round. The Bucs are not losing to the Eagles. The games that are I think 100% a lock and really honestly aren't even worth discussing that much who's going to win. The Chiefs game, the Chiefs have a bye. The Chiefs have a bye. I know the Steelers, Big Ben said in his interview that he knew they were going to lose, and that bothered me. I don't like that. I don't like that. Even though he's right, I don't know. It's just I don't like it. At least try to compete. It's just a cowardly way to go into the game because it's a win-win for the Steelers now. They lose. Big Ben's yeah, I told you we're going to lose. I don't know. But yeah, the Chiefs are going to win that game. And they're going to win by more than 12. They're going to crush that game. It's not even going to be close. The Steelers are not a playoff team, in my opinion. So the Chiefs are definitely moving on. And then I also think the Bucs are definitely moving on. I think those are the two teams that are definitely moving on. The Buccaneers match up so perfectly with the Eagles, guys. They match up so perfectly with the Eagles. It couldn't be more perfect. It's one of the best rushing attacks in the league against the best rushing defense in the league, or top 2 rushing defense in the league. It's not a good matchup for the Eagles at all. They need to be able to throw the ball in this game if they want any chance. And that's their chance. Like, if Jalen Hurts can have a good passing game, the Buccaneers can win this game. But we gotta hop in here really quick with a little bit of a weather report, because we have had not that much weather in the NFL this season. There really hasn't been that much when you really think about it. And I look at this stuff every single week very closely. There's been just a few games really affected by weather. One of them was that Bills-Pats game with the insane wind. That was definitely the biggest weather game. But we have some real weather in a few of these games. One today, and the Bucs-Eagles game, which I think is tomorrow. So, first of all, today, for the Bills versus the Patriots, the weather is going to be sub-0 degrees. So we're going to have a below 0 degrees game for the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be extremely cold. It's going to be extremely cold. I don't think there's no chance of precipitation, it looks like. But it's going to feel like less than 0 degrees in that game. And Josh Allen has not historically played well in cold weather games. I think this only helps the Patriots. I think this only could possibly help the Patriots. The fact that it's so cold. A team that needs to run the ball and already isn't that good at passing. So I do think it has a minor effect on the game. And I think it favors the Patriots, that it's going to be 0 or below. I think any adverse conditions are usually just a good thing for the underdog. But I actually feel a little bit differently with the other game that's going to have some weather implications, and that's the Bucs versus the Eagles. In that game, there's going to be sustained winds over 15 miles an hour, at times as fast as 30-mile-an-hour winds. Now, this is not the Patriots-Bills game that we saw. That game had 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. This game's going to be like 15 to 30. I've done research on this. I've done my own research on this. Wind over 25 miles an hour, that has a statistically significant impact on offenses. So we're in that range. It's going to be 15 to 30. But there's also going to be rain in this game. Pretty consistent rain throughout the game. So we got a windy, rainy game. And we have the number 1 rush defense in this game against the Eagles, who can only run the ball. And they need to be able to throw, but then there's going to be 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain. This is not good for the Eagles. This weather. Even more reason that the Bucs are going to beat them pretty handedly and move on to the next round. So I think the Chiefs and Bucs 100% moving on. I would be pretty shocked if they didn't. All the other games I genuinely think could go either way. I think that the Bills, it makes sense for them to be favored over the Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots because I'm a Patriots fan, and the Patriots rushing attack is right up against the weakness of the Bills. The Bills run defense. I also think the weather is going to help the Patriots. The Raiders versus the Bengals. These are two teams. Really, I think you could argue the Patriots are in this boat as well. But the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, like all these teams, they could beat and lose to any team in the league. Like, they could lose to anyone and they could beat anyone. But the Bengals and Raiders both really like outperformed their expectation this season throughout the whole season. And I believe that the Bengals passing attack is going to be a big part of this game, but I think what's being ignored is really the Bengals rushing offense. These teams already played. These teams already played this season. It was not close. And by the way, Joe Burrow, he threw for 148 yards in that game. It still wasn't even close because Joe Mixon had 30 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Raiders' run defense is not good. It's really not good. And I think that's going to show today in this first game. So I'm taking the Bengals over the Raiders. And actually, the free player prop pick of the day, if you're on the YouTube live, free player prop pick of the day, it's Joe Mixon's rushing yards. Joe Mixon over 74.5 rushing yards. This one feels like a layup to me. You got to make your layups. Joe Mixon had 123 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Raiders about a month ago or 2 months ago. It really wasn't that long ago. It was week 11. The last time these two teams played. And the Bengals won that game 32-13. I think the Raiders offense will have a better game than that. I think the Raiders offense will have a better game than that. We got someone, Raiders over. You're echoing bad. Oh, I'm echoing? Really? Why am I echoing? That's weird. Is the echo better down here? Maybe that will help the echo. Packers def winning over the Bucks if they rematch. Yeah, I think that the Packers have a very good chance to make it. I do. I think the Packers have a very good chance to make it. I don't have that in my outcome, but I definitely think it could happen. Raiders money line. Someone saying thoughts of the Bengals versus Raiders today. With your advice, I got only one loss. That's what I'm talking about. What's with all those Post-its? Must be some big product things coming next season. Yeah, if you come to the YouTube live, guys, we're live on TikTok and YouTube right now. One of the reasons I haven't been creating as much content over the last week as I have in the past is because I've been hard at work, man. We've been hard at work. If you come to the YouTube live, you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, basically every aspect of the WalterPicks app next season will be improved. My line on Caesars is Mixon 76.5. Yeah, I like that still. I like that. I think Mixon goes for at least 80 rushing yards in this game. Raiders plus 5.5. I think the Bengals win. The spread, I think, is really close. It's really close. I think the game will be close. But I generally like to bet on the team I think is going to win, especially if the spread is close. No echo here, LOL, says someone on the YouTube live. So if you're complaining about the echo, then you have the YouTube live to come to. Link to the YouTube live in the TikTok bio. You can see my picks against the spread for every game on the YouTube live as well. Crazy to stack Jimmy G and Debo and cash. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a crazy stack. Let me pull up the guys that I like on DraftKings. So if you're on the YouTube live, you can see all the guys I like on DraftKings today. This isn't a complete lineup. More so, I just wanted to put down all the players I really liked this weekend on DraftKings. And I think, honestly, you might even have money left over if you put this as a full lineup. But T. Higgins stood out to me the most. Pricing Jamar Chase over T. Higgins, I think it makes sense why they're doing that. But T. Higgins has just as good of a chance to pop off in any given game as Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is like becoming overlooked because of how good Jamar Chase is. T. Higgins is still a baller. I feel similar to me like the CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper situation. Like both those guys are still ballers. T. Higgins is, I guess, Amari Cooper in that situation. But yeah, I like T. Higgins' value a lot. Pats versus Bucks Super Bowl. Yeah, that would be insane. That would just be too much. The Patriots were talked about, by the way, Super Bowl contenders, like pretty heavily just a month ago. And it's mac and cheese, Mac Jones day, guys. Mac and cheese, Mac Jones. I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner mac and cheese today. All mac and cheese. That's all we're doing today. Mac and cheese, Mac Jones. Because otherwise, we got no chance. This is the biggest game, obviously, of Mac Jones' career so far. And I came from TikTok to say your bracket is wrong. Brian, what's going on, man? Our Raiders.WalterPicks creator. Brian, I got to be honest. You have been right almost every single time. You've been right almost every single time. I've been wrong way more often than not about the Raiders this season. I've continually been wrong about the Raiders. And I have not learned. But I will say this game was not an easy choice for me because the Bengals are a similar team to the Raiders, like in terms of unpredictableness, and like they have a chance to win this game. I think the Bengals beat the Raiders. The Raiders definitely have a chance, though. A big game from Derek Carr should keep it close. Titans have to win the AFC Championship, says Kylo. Yeah, guys, the Titans, honestly, I think I would be really surprised. I'd be very surprised if the Chiefs didn't come out of the AFC. I think there's a chance, there's a real chance that the Chiefs basically just get to walk to the Super Bowl. Like, we're going to be preparing for the Super Bowl those 2 weeks when there's no games. And it's going to be like, wow, the Chiefs really didn't even have to do anything to get here. They walked over the Steelers, beat them by 20-plus points in the first game. Then they got to play the Bengals, and that game wasn't close. And then maybe the Titans end up blowing it, or they just blow out the Titans. The Chiefs could blow out in every single matchup. Yeah, agreed. Brian, this is what I'm saying about the Raiders and the Bengals. Like, the last time they played, you just look at that game. I don't know how, if you just go back and watch that game, and I did that this week. Like, how are you taking the Raiders? Joe Burrow threw 150 yards in that game, and they won 32-13. So the fact that that's an outcome, that Joe Burrow doesn't even need to really play well, because if the Raiders' run defense is going to be that bad, then they're going to hand the ball to Joe Mixon 30 times, and he's going to stampede for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. But really, the bigger thing in that game, when you go back and watch the game, was the Raiders' offense. And the Raiders' offense, if they score 13 points in this game, they're not winning. They need to score a minimum of 25 in this game, I think, to win. So I think that really both sides of the ball need to be way better for the Raiders if they want a chance to win this game. Who's my NFC pick to represent in the Super Bowl? Yeah, so right now I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, but honestly, the NFC I think could go a lot of different ways. I don't think the AFC is going to go that many different ways. I think the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. The NFC, I could see the Bucs doing it. I obviously could see the Packers doing it. I think that the Cowboys are a pretty good dark horse to do it. I don't think the 49ers can do it. The Cardinals and Rams. The Rams maybe. The Cardinals probably not. The Cardinals offense has not been as good without DeAndre Hopkins. But honestly, if any of those teams get hot, there's just so many elite offenses in the NFC. Eagles upset Bucs. Yeah, it's not going to happen. This guy's so wrong. Steelers plus 12.5. Yeah, I would not do that. I would not burn your money on the Steelers. I would not do that. What do you think the chances are the Patriots come out of the AFC? It's not happening. That's not happening. Patriots are not coming out of the AFC. I would be absolutely shocked. I'm taking them against the Bills, and I'm saying that because this is the thing. The Patriots aren't beating the Chiefs. The Patriots are not beating the Chiefs. They're probably there's a good chance they lose today. In this game, the Patriots versus the Bills, there's not really a chance that the Patriots blow out the Bills. There's obviously a chance the Bills just completely destroy the Patriots. The Patriots can beat and lose to any team, and that's not a Super Bowl winning formula. It's not a Super Bowl winning formula. Dang, Sam, your beard looking great. Yarjma, this is the playoff beard, man. This is the playoff beard. We're not shaving until the Patriots are eliminated. Do I go under on Josh Allen, 293.5 passing and rushing? I would probably avoid that one altogether. I did take the over on Big Ben pass attempts. He threw over 30 times before half last week. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. The Steelers are going to be losing early in this game. They're going to have to throw. It feels like that this has been the story for the Steelers in most of their games throughout the last month. It's like they just have to abandon. They want to run. The Steelers are built to run, but they just get behind so quickly that they have to pass. Patriots by 14 tonight. We got in the YouTube Live. Why are you a 49ers hater? I'm not a 49ers hater. But I just genuinely think the Cowboys have a better team than the 49ers. The Cowboys offense is going to score at least 30 points in this game. I think the Cowboys offense is going to play very well. I think the 49ers obviously have a chance. This game could go either way. The Cowboys are just an overall better team. The biggest thing I'm concerned about in this game is Mike McCarthy. It's Mike McCarthy. There's a significant coaching advantage for the 49ers in this game. Zay Jones over 18.5 longest completion. I don't know if I like that one. I don't know because how many catches is Zay Jones getting? 2 or 3? I think I would prefer just his prop. I think his prop should be kind of close to that. Do we like Allen under 232 passing? I don't really like that. Sam, congrats on a great year. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And guys, we got nominated for an award. And we're up against some absolutely insane competition. It would be an incredible underdog story if we actually won this award. It's we're up against Yahoo Fantasy, the fantasy footballers, some absolutely insane competition, and talented competition. But anyone can vote on who wins the award, and the link to vote is in the TikTok bio. It's in the YouTube description. It takes you 2 seconds to vote. I appreciate it if you would do that. Thoughts on the Rodgers suspicion that he won't play? That's just not true. He's playing. He's obviously playing. He's going to play. Do you believe that this will be Big Ben's absolute last game? Yeah, it will be. It definitely will be. It will be his last game. 100% it's his last game as a Steeler, and 99% chance it's his last game because who else wants him? This is it for him, I think. And really, it was only because of the Steelers that he got a whole other year. Because no other team is gonna take Big Ben. KC losing. No, KC is not losing. Favorite Cowboys pass catcher? It's CeeDee Lamb. It's definitely CeeDee Lamb. Pats over Bills. LOL. Come on now. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing about the Patriots and the Bills. This is my reasoning for taking the Patriots over the Bills. And don't get me wrong. I understand why the Bills are favorites in this game. The Bills should win this game. They're favorites, and they should be favorites. They have a better offense. They have a better defense. They're at home. But the Patriots' strength is the Bills' weakness. The Patriots' strength is running the ball. It's all they've been good at all season. And the Bills' by far biggest weakness across their whole team is the run defense. Their run defense several times this season has been just so dominated. Just so dominated. Let's go through some of the games. Because there's some games, when you look through these, you're like, yeah, okay, maybe there is a chance that the Patriots can win this game. You look through the Bills games. There was a game against the Patriots with over 40-mile-an-hour winds where everyone in the stadium and everyone on the Bills sideline knew the Patriots were going to run the ball every single play, and Damian Harris averaged over 10 yards a carry in that game. And Ramondre Stevenson averaged over 5. Then there was a game against the Colts where Jonathan Taylor had 185 yards, 4 touchdowns. Very similar type of game. The Bills knew the Colts were running the ball. It did not matter because the Bills' run defense was just so bad. Their run defense has been the biggest weakness, and that's why I'm taking the Patriots. That's why I think they have a chance, and that's also why I think the 0-degree weather helps the Patriots. It's just harder to throw when you can't feel your hands. So that's why I'm taking the Pats. And don't get me wrong here. I understand why the Bills are favored. They should be favored. They're the better team. They should win the game. But I'm taking the Patriots because I think they have a better chance than people realize. I think they have a better chance than people realize because their strength is the Bills' weakness. I will say that the Patriots are a lot less healthy than the Bills too. That did give me some reservations. They're without Isaiah Wynn, starting left tackle. They are without Matthew Judon as well. And then there's a lot of other guys on defense that are just banged up. Is Connor good to go? No, I don't think so. I think that Connor's out. He hasn't been officially ruled out. But the last thing I was reading made me believe there's a better chance he doesn't play than that he does. Let me pull this up right now, though, really quickly in case anything's changed. But if that's the case, Chase Edmonds is going to have a really good game. I mean, I'm a big fan of Chase Edmonds. I think he was averaging over 20 touches a game without James Conner in the lineup. James Conner returned to practice Saturday. Conner missed the first 2 days of Cardinals practice. This upgrades his outlook, but he remains a game-time decision for Monday night. So I think I was wrong. I think there's like a 60-40 chance he plays. I think there's a 60-40 chance James Conner plays. Explain the Packers. Yeah, so the Packers should beat the Bucs. They'll probably be favored. In this game, if you're watching live on TikTok, Packers versus the Bucs, which is how I have my bracket going. If that game happens, the Packers will be favored in that game. They will be favored in that game. And it will probably be the best game of the season. I feel like this game, Packers versus Bucs, will be even better than whatever happens in the Super Bowl. It'll be a good game. It will be a good game. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until Aaron Rodgers shows he can win that game. But the Packers will be favored in that game, 100%. All favorites, LOL, good predictions, man. Yeah, I get those comments all the time. Those aren't surprising. Like, I get it. It's not exciting to just pick favorites. It's not exciting to pick favorites. But that's not my goal here. My goal is not to just like be exciting. My goal is just to pick as many games right as possible. So yeah, I'm going to pick a lot of favorites because the favorites are supposed to win. Like this isn't like trying to be like bold takey. This is just who I genuinely think is going to win each game. So sorry, there's no bold takes. Sometimes there is. And there are upsets here. I'm taking the Patriots over the Bills. I'm taking the Buccaneers over the Packers. That's an upset. Like there's upsets in here. Explain the boys. Yeah, I just think the Cowboys offense is really good. The 49ers run defense is good. Their pass defense isn't as good. So if you were to look at like the team by team rankings here, the 49ers have a better run defense than the Cowboys. But they have a worse pass defense than the Cowboys. And some people have debated me on this, but when you look back at the numbers, you look at EPA per play, adjusted for strength of opponent. You have to adjust for strength of opponent. And when you adjust for strength of opponent, the Cowboys pass defense is better than the 49ers pass defense this season. This is a fact. They're both pretty good, though. Now, a lot of people have this take, too, that the Cowboys defense is like good for fantasy, but bad in real life because they force a lot of turnovers but let up a lot of yards, which like it makes sense. That take makes sense to me. But I think it's just a little bit flawed. It's a little bit flawed of a take. Explained by why the Rams beat the Cardinals. Yeah, the Rams-Cardinals game, I think, is the game I'm honestly least confident in because there's two sides of the game for me. One is like Kyler Murray without DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals' offense does not seem as explosive to me over the last month without DeAndre Hopkins. Like they have slowed down. And if they don't have a good game, there's just no chance. But the other side of this is Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense. They've been a little erratic. Like the Stafford has, I think, at least one interception in like almost every game this season. Let me pull this up. But ultimately, I don't think there's a single team, not a single team playing this weekend, not a single team with more pressure on them than the Rams. There's not a single team with more pressure because the Rams sold out for this season. You can't sell out for this season and lose in the first round. Like there's not a single team with more pressure on them. Every team's got a lot of pressure, except for the Steelers, because they're literally already admitting they're going to lose, which is just cowardly. But the Rams they have the most pressure. They have the most pressure. And I think that's part of the reason I feel like they're going to win. Like they need to win. If they don't win, this franchise is really going to be in a tough spot, despite how much talent they have. And they are arguably the most talented team in the NFL if you just look at the depth chart and the individual players. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, listen to this. Matthew Stafford, in his last 4 games, he has thrown at least, in his last 3 games, he's at least 2 picks in each of those games. 2 interceptions against the 49ers, 2 interceptions against the Ravens. The Ravens secondary has not been good this season. Stafford threw 2 picks against them. And he threw 3 interceptions against the Vikings, another secondary that really wasn't that good this season. And he threw a pick against the Seahawks, another secondary that was not good this season. When he played the Cardinals, and these 2 teams played as well this season, the last time they played was Week 14. Matthew Stafford completed 77% of his passes, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was one of his best games of the season. No interceptions in that game. Bro, Bucks are too injured to make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they're obviously very injured. They're very injured. But the thing about the Bucks is they're actually less injured on defense than they really have been all season. Their offense is injured, but the defense is actually a little bit healthier. And the defense is the reason that they're just not losing in round 1. There's just no way. There's just no way the defense doesn't perform well against the Eagles. It's just a perfect matchup. It's the perfect matchup for the Bucks. They're a top run defense against a team that only runs the ball. They only run the ball. Your picks, not good, says Jory. All right, W picks, though, was the next comment. We'll take that. We won't know. Guys, you don't know. You don't know if the picks are good or not. Give it some time. Give it some time. Do you think Damian Harris plays today? Yeah, I do. I think Damian Harris plays today, and I actually think he plays well. He's averaging over 5.5 yards a carry against the Bills this season in both games. Both games, he averaged over 5.5 yards a carry against the Bills. I think Damian Harris plays well. I think Joe Mixon plays well, too. Those are actually, I think, two of my favorite props today is Joe Mixon and Damian Harris. I like Joe Mixon and Damian Harris today. I feel like too many people are on 49ers, so I'm going Cowboys to win and over. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Damian Harris has a good game. Eagles winning, don't sleep. No, I'm sleeping on the Eagles. The 2 teams that I'm absolutely sleeping on, coaches, I'm going to be full of sleep. I might just sleep straight through the games because we already know what's going to happen. It's the Eagles game and it's the Chiefs game. The Eagles are losing to the Bucks. The Steelers are losing to the Chiefs. How do I know? Well, so because Damian Harris played in each of the last 2 games, I think. 2 games? Damian Harris played last game, and his injury didn't get worse. The fact that Damian Harris played in Week 18 was confirmation he was playing in this game already. That's my thought process. He's listed as questionable. He's dealing with the same injury, though, that he played through in Week 18, so he's playing. DK lineup. Yeah, come to the YouTube live. Come to the YouTube live. I got my DraftKings favorite guys that I'm targeting on DraftKings on the YouTube live. Link to that is in the TikTok bio. What's your reaction if the Steelers win? What's my reaction going to be? Honestly, I'll be definitely in disbelief. And yeah, I don't know. If the Steelers win, they're just not going to win. They're just not going to win. They're not going to win. The Steelers are not going to win. Cowboys are at least making conference. I think the Cowboys at least make it out of round 1. Sony Michel. Pat's beating the Bills. Come on. Sony Michel. is still going to lead the Rams in touches, but Cam Akers is involved now. Cam Akers is there and involved, and I do think that is a slight ding to Sony Michel. Your Super Bowl decision is correct. Go Bucks. Wow, we got a Bucks fan in here. People start to get a lot less rational in the playoffs. A lot less rationality in the playoffs from fans. You see me, I'm taking the Patriots over the Bills. I picked against the Pats all season, by the way. If you've been following me all season, it's rare for me to pick the Patriots. Can you explain the Pats pick? Yeah, let me explain the Pats pick really quickly. Again, I think the Bills should be favored. They are favored. They're the better team. They're the better offense, and they're better defense. But the Patriots' strength matches up very well with the Bills' weakness, which is running. The Patriots are a run-first team. They've been effective running the ball this season. Both games that the Patriots played the Bills, Damian Harris averaged over 5.5 yards a carry. Ramondre Stevenson averaged over 4 yards a carry. The Bills' run defense is by far the biggest weakness on the Bills. And the Patriots' run attack is the biggest strength on the Patriots. And the game is going to be 0 degrees on top of that. So there's injuries for the Patriots. The Bills are pretty healthy. We're playing in Buffalo. They're in Buffalo against a team that has a better offense and defense overall. But the Patriots' strength matches up so well with the Bills' defense, the Bills' weakness on defense, that I believe they have a chance to win this game. And I think this could be the coming out party for Mac and Cheese, Mac Jones. So I'm eating mac and cheese, breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. And I think the Patriots win. Again, the Bills should be favored. They should be favored. This is clearly an upset pick. Will you shave the beard live on stream tomorrow if the Patriots lose tonight? Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this is the playoff beard. This is the longest my beard has been for pretty much as long as I can remember. And I hope it gets longer because I'm shaving this once the Pats lose. So we'll see what happens. My Pats over the Bills, and I have a feeling the Raiders will beat the Bengals. The Raiders definitely can beat the Bengals. 100% they could beat the Bengals. The only two games that I think can't go either way. There's only two games I think couldn't go either way, like at all. And it's the Chiefs beating the Steelers, and it's the Bucs beating the Eagles. Like those are the two games to me. They're not going either way. Like maybe one of those games ends up being closer than I think, but the Buccaneers are winning. The Chiefs are winning. Bengals are going to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, that game will be fun. That game will be really fun if that ends up happening. But I don't think anyone in the AFC is beating the Chiefs. Only someone in the NFC is going to beat the Chiefs. That's another take I'm pretty confident about heading into this playoffs. I think only someone in the NFC is going to beat the Chiefs. I think the Packers are probably the team that has the best chance. Steelers by 7. A lot of Steelers fans out there. Will WalterPicks app have fantasy baseball and baseball props this year? Good question. Yeah, so if you're on the YouTube live, by the way, we're live on TikTok and YouTube. If you're on the YouTube live, you can see behind me, there's like a bunch of sticky notes and a lot of, you can see I've been planning this past week, a lot of planning. We're improving basically the app significantly heading into next season. I've said this from the very start, since WalterPicks started. Basically every single dollar that we make from WalterPicks goes straight back into the app. Like we're really trying to improve the experience for everyone that uses the WalterPicks app. And the app is going to basically be improved in every single possible way before next season. That's what's behind me here. So yeah, baseball is in the cards. I'm not going to promise baseball, but it's definitely in the cards. Niners are going to upset, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, the Niners have a chance. The Niners and the Raiders have a chance. I just think the Cowboys and Bengals offenses are better. WalterPicks baseball is going to be insane if it happens. Yeah, that would be insane. It will be fun. Eagles beat the injured Bucks. No, they're not beating the injured Bucks. The Eagles had a good season, rookie head coach. They're going to lose this game, and it's still going to be a successful season, and they're going to be moving on and happy. Packers winning it all, no doubt. No, there's got to be some doubt. There has to be. I think there's got to be some doubt about the Packers, just a little bit. You got to have just a little bit of doubt. Though I will say, I don't have the background here, but with the last dance photo that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams posted before the season, I would have a lot more respect for that if they actually ended up winning. Arizona wins the Super Bowl. We got someone saying in the YouTube live. Yeah, I don't think so. Were you surprised how fast Seahawks.WalterPicks got in and out of IHOP? Yeah, very surprised. I was surprised about that. That was fast. That's probably 2 to 3 times faster than I would have expected. It was impressive. He also made pancakes, not waffles. We're gonna count it. But it wasn't quite Waffle House. It wasn't quite Waffle House. Pats take it all. Yeah, the Pats are not going to take it all. The Pats are not going to take it all. They're not going to. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not a Super Bowl team. They could beat the Bills, though. I think they will beat the Bills. But they're not going to. They can't beat the Chiefs. They'll probably lose to the Titans. Chiefs won't win in Nashville. What is Nashville like a scary place to play? The Chiefs will win in Nashville. And honestly, I have this weird feeling that the Chiefs are somehow not even going to have to end up playing in Nashville. Like the Titans are just going to blow it in their first game, whoever they end up playing. And the Chiefs are going to get home field advantage throughout. Check this out, though. This is the thing that I'm most excited for, I think, in the whole playoffs. I think this is what I'm most excited for in the playoffs. It is not him. It's not him. Let me see if I can find this. It's him. The fact that Derrick Henry is coming back in the real NFL playoffs, guys, this is going to be insane. This is the hope for the Titans. If he's actually healthy, if Derrick Henry is actually healthy, it will change everything. It will change everything in the AFC. This guy is Jackson Mahomes' side piece and wants his brother-in-law to win. Yeah, I'm not a big Jackson Mahomes fan. This is not my thought process when picking games. I'm not thinking about Jackson Mahomes. I'm thinking about who do I genuinely think who's going to win each game. I've watched every single game in the NFL this season, and then I've gone back and rewatched every single game in the NFL this season. I look at data basically all day long for all of these teams and all of these players, and I track them all throughout the season. And this is genuinely what I believe the outcomes will be. That's all it is. It's not me just picking favorites because I like it. It's none of that. This is just generally who I think will win each game. Everyone hates on the Chiefs because it's everything their team is not. I mean, the Chiefs are, to me, they are the lock in the AFC. I would be surprised if they don't come out of the AFC. They basically get a first round bye. And to me, they're a lock to be in the AFC Championship for that reason. The Chiefs have the best offense in the AFC. I think the only real hope that someone not in the AFC beats the Chiefs, I don't think it's the Titans. I think it's the Bills. But the Bills could easily lose in the first game. So the Chiefs are just they have too easy of a path. They're making it to the Super Bowl. I think the NFC, though, way more unpredictable. Way more unpredictable. There's a lot of teams here that if they get hot at the right time, really the Bucs, 49ers, Cowboys, Cardinals, and Rams, any of those teams get hot at the right time, and they could make a real run. All of them. All of them could make a real run. The Steelers, not a real Super Bowl contender. The Patriots, not a real Super Bowl contender. The Raiders and Bengals, not real Super Bowl contenders. There's only 2 other Super Bowl contenders in the AFC. It's the Bills, it's the Titans, and it's the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are way better than both those teams. But on this side, it's much closer. It's much closer. No, the Patriots are not. The Patriots are not Super Bowl contenders. Pay attention, my guy. Bracket's very wrong. This bracket is wrong. So wrong in so many ways. Titans destroying Chiefs this year. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Titans earned the 1 seed. They're not terrible, but I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. Titans to lose first round no matter who they play. We have in the YouTube live. It's the Packers' year. The Packers certainly have a good chance. Don't sleep on San Fran. Yeah, I'm not sleeping on San Fran. Again, there's only 2 teams I'm actually sleeping on. There's only 2 teams I'm like very much asleep. Like I could sleep through the games and I would feel pretty confident what was going to happen. It's the Chiefs, Steelers, and it's the Bucs, Eagles. That's it. Those are the 2 teams I'm sleeping on. Basically, the Eagles and the Steelers. Everyone else, I'm not going to sleep on. Especially in the NFC. I'm not really sleeping on these teams. Like, I got to pick someone. But I think that all of these Bucs, 49ers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Rams, all of them could get hot. Do you remember the game Chiefs vs. Titans earlier this year? Yeah, I do. I do remember that game. I went back and watched that game. Any games that I thought could come about in the playoffs, I went back and watched this week. And, yeah, that was, the worst game of the season for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes in that game threw 200 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Chiefs scored 3 points in that game. It was back in week 8, I think. I think it was week 8 or week 7. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry wasn't even a huge part of the game. He had 29 carries for 86 yards. He averaged 3 yards a carry. A.J. Brown, on the other hand, 133 yards and a TD in that game. Eagles shocking the world. No, they're not. They're not. Eagles fans, Steelers fans, just enjoy the playoff game. I put a mortgage payment on Bucks Chiefs moneyline parlay, not gambling advice. If there was one bet that I would put my mortgage on in the first round, it would be just the Chiefs to win. Just the Chiefs to win. Like it feels like a guaranteed payment. Dallas plays the winner of Rams in Arizona. Dallas plays the winner of Rams. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's true, right? I can't tell. The numbers are really small here. But I don't think this is wrong. I think this one was – I was wrong, by the way. I posted a video about my picks for round 1, just round 1 picks, because I'll make round 2 picks when we know the round 2 games. And I just didn't even consider seeding, so I messed up the seeding. But this seeding, I think, is right, actually. I think I used something to make sure this was right. Eagles haven't beat anyone all year, LOL. Yeah, the Eagles they're not beating the Bucks. They're not beating the Bucks. Do you have your early ranks for first round picks next season in PPR? I don't yet. I don't. I got to take like a week or 2 just away from fantasy, and then I'll get back into it. Every single year, I start my fantasy football stuff early. Every year. It's happened for like 5 straight years for me, even before WalterPicks. And this past year, I was doing $25 fantasy drafts, literally in May. This past year, I was doing $25 fantasy drafts literally all throughout May. And I'll probably be even a month earlier this year. Our last good run was a few years ago as a Raiders fan. The Raiders could win, though. Don't get me wrong. The Raiders could win. But the Raiders and the Bengals, not real Super Bowl contenders. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. I would be really surprised if either of those teams won the Super Bowl. Because they're not going to beat the Chiefs. Neither of those teams are beating the Chiefs. Green Bay plays lowest seed winner. Yeah, wouldn't that be the Rams? Yeah, that would be the Rams, right? Chiefs are mid. Yeah, I mean, no, they're not mid. I don't think they're mid. I think the Chiefs are coming out of the AFC. Dude, you're a Chiefs fan for sure. No, I'm actually a Patriots fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I just genuinely think they're the best offense in the AFC. And I care about offense more than defense. Part of the reason I'm taking the Cowboys over the 49ers. You act like they're unbeatable. No, they're not unbeatable. But in one game, in one playoff game, all the teams that are in the AFC, I'm going to be picking the Chiefs in that game. And I think that's just the correct thing to do. So now we know why he thinks the Pats beating the Bills. Yeah, I am a Pats fan. Though I will say I'm not really a biased Pats fan. I pick against the Pats almost every game this season. If you've been following me throughout the season, it's pretty actually rare that I pick the Patriots. Chiefs going to lose to the Bengals. No, that's just not happening. A lot of Steelers fans are getting excited. The Steelers fans are getting excited. And honestly, it's an exciting, just surprising that they're even in the playoffs. So I understand the excitement, but they're not going to beat the Chiefs. We've seen the Titans beat the Chiefs in the regular season in 2019 and still lose in the playoffs. Yeah, that happened in 2019. Every game's different. Honestly, it's very hard to beat a team twice. Don't sleep on Tennessee. Yeah, honestly, if there's one AFC team that I might be sleeping on too much, it's the Titans. It is the Titans, especially because the king himself is literally returning at the perfect time. He's returning. So I think the Bucks beating the Eagles. I think the Patriots are beating the Bills. I think this isn't even really a discussion. The Chiefs are beating the Steelers. The Bengals versus the Raiders, that's the game today. I think it's going to be close. But I'm taking the Bengals for offensive reasons. And the Bengals are a team that the last time these two teams played, Joe Mixon ran for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow only threw 15. He threw 150 yards in that game. No touchdowns. Joe Burrow threw 150 yards the last time the Raiders played, and they won 31-13 or something like that. I think it was 31-13. It wasn't even close. And Joe Burrow didn't even have to do anything. I don't hate this one. Again, I think that the Patriots plan of attack here has to be running the ball. Mac Jones under 32.5 longest completion. I don't hate that at all. I do think we see the Buccaneers play the Packers in this playoffs, by the way. I think that's going to be the NFC Championship game. Bucks and Packers. I think this is probably, if it's not the Patriots game, then this is probably the best game of wildcard weekend. Both these teams, I think, if they got hot at the right time, could make a real run in the NFC. I'm taking the Cowboys in this game because I believe the Cowboys offense has more firepower than the 49ers offense. But I will say both teams have a very real chance to win this game and a very real chance to just generally make a run in the NFC. Now, a lot of teams that are able to make a run in the NFC. This is the reason I'm taking the Patriots over the Bills. If you're watching live on TikTok, if you're watching live on YouTube, I'm pointing to Damian Harris. The Patriots' run offense is the strength of the Patriots team. The Bills' run defense is the weakness of the Bills team. Playing in 0-degree weather. That helps only the Patriots. Only helps the Patriots. The bigger thing, the other big thing for the Patriots to win this game is it comes down to Josh Allen and how well Josh Allen plays. Josh Allen, in the last time that he played the Patriots, had one of arguably the best performances of this whole season, like across all games. He made some absolutely incredible plays throughout that whole game, really starting from like the first drive. Completing tons of third and longs, third and shorts, fourth and shorts, fourth and longs. He was dominant all day. I don't think we're going to see that good of a performance from him today. What is your DFS lineup? Yeah, if you come to the YouTube live, let me pull up my DraftKings plays for the day. Is the weather bad in the Bengals-Raiders game as well? No, I don't think so. The Bengals-Raiders game, I think, is normal weather. 33 degrees, no wind. The Patriots-Bills game, there's weather that matters. 0 degrees. It's going to be 0 degrees in that game. No wind either, but 0 degrees at the Bills-Pats game. The Eagles-Buccaneers game also has weather implications that I think help the Bucs. I think the weather implications in the Bucs-Eagles game help the Bucs. In that game, there's going to be wind between 15 and 30 miles an hour throughout the whole game. Wind up to 30 miles an hour in this game. And it's going to be raining the whole time. So we're going to have a windy, rainy game, which is probably good for the team that has the number one best run defense against a team that only runs the ball. Like, the Eagles need to be able to throw in this game to have a chance. And if they can't, then there could be a problem. Could be a problem for the Eagles, who are already, big underdogs in this game. The two teams that I think have no chance are the Eagles and the Steelers. But other than that, no real weather to report on. The 49ers Cowboys is going to be 50 degrees, no wind. The Steelers Chiefs, 33 degrees, no wind. And the Cardinals Rams are playing in a dome. SoFi Stadium. I was there not that long ago. I feel like it only partially counts as a dome because it's like half indoor, half outdoor, or like 75% indoor, 25% outdoor. Listen, the first 7 weeks we never ran. The fans made them change. Yeah. Eagles game to win. Pats and Bills game will be decided by who wants it more. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely possible. But I can promise you this is the guy that wants it the most. Bill Belichick is not someone I like betting against in the playoffs. And this is a big game for Bill. This is arguably a bigger game for Bill than really like anyone else on the Patriots. Because this is, if the Patriots lose this game, it is definitely a hit to Bill Belichick and how big of an impact Tom Brady had on Bill Belichick. And the Tom Brady-Bill Belichick debate is only more solidified this weekend if Bill Belichick loses and Tom Brady wins. You think Mac Jones will throw for over 180? No, I wouldn't take that. I mean, do I hope he does? Yes. Do I think he will? No. No, I don't. This is a big game for Mac and Cheese Mac Jones, though. It's a big game for Mac and Cheese Mac Jones. That's why we're eating mac and cheese breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. because this is the biggest game of Mac Jones' career. The biggest game. But I'm not expecting a lot. Again, the reason I'm taking the Patriots is their run defense. Their run offense versus the Bills' run defense. Can't expect Mac to play like Brady would. No, you cannot expect that. You cannot expect that. He is not Tom Brady. He's much worse. He's much worse than Tom Brady. He's obviously a rookie as well. Like Brady wasn't that great as a rookie. I agree with you, by the way. Someone saying, no, it's not. Brady walked into a perfect situation in Tampa Bay. 100%. You're right. You're 100% right. But I'm just telling you that this will be brought up in the debate again. You just look at the 2 years that they weren't together. Belichick missed the playoffs, then made the playoffs and was a first round exit. Brady wins the Super Bowl and then makes another playoff run. I'm just telling you this is going to be used in that debate. But I agree with you. Obviously, Brady's situation is better than Bill's right now. Let me pull the bracket back up. A lot of people not liking it. A lot of people disagree. But that's what the playoffs are about. No two people are ever going to agree on every game. Missed with a garbage Cam. Yeah, he did. But he's also the GM. So, I mean, it was his fault for having garbage Cam in the first place. This is the thing about Bill Belichick that really bothers me, because I think he's the best coach of all time. But nobody ever talks about his mistakes as a GM. Like, he made a mistake letting Brady leave. He made a mistake thinking Cam could bring them to the playoffs. Last year you can give him the excuse of the opt-outs and things like that. But it's just generally as a GM, he's made a lot of mistakes. LOL, Patriots not winning. I think that's probably the most common comment we've gotten. But there's also been a lot of Steelers and Eagles fans. I think it's going to be Bengals and Bucks for the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's both. I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. I think there's 3 teams that have any chance to make it out of the AFC. I think those 3 teams are the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Titans. And I think the Bills could lose pretty easily in the first round, which is why I don't think the Bills are going to make it. But to me, it's going to be the Chiefs in the AFC. I think the AFC is just way less debatable than the NFC. The NFC, I think you could debate all day long in the NFC. There's so many teams in the NFC that have the offensive capability to beat any team. Bills are not losing today. I think they are. Don't get me wrong. They should be favored. They are favored. Like, the Bills should win, but I think they're going to lose. Because the Patriots' run offense is the only real strength on the Patriots team, and the Bills' run defense is by far the biggest glaring weakness on the Bills team. We've seen it in several games throughout this season. What if Bengals and Raiders tie? What if Bengals and Raiders tie? I love that question. The tie situation, that last game was just so insane. The fact that they almost actually tied, even though they were both trying to win, the Raiders and the Chargers. But no, you can't tie in the playoffs. You cannot tie in the playoffs. I believe you just go into double OT. I believe that's what happens. I'm like 90% sure, but someone can double check me on that. But you definitely can't tie in the playoffs. That would be really funny though if that ends up like being a thing. Brackets aren't about picking the top seeds, people. Well, listen. First of all, I go round by round, so I'll have obviously a different bracket next week. Like, I'm really only focused on these first games. I didn't put that much thought into the round 2 games. This is just generally what I think will happen in each round of the playoffs. I'm not worried about making sure my bracket's different than everyone else's, making sure I pick enough upset. Like, I'm just picking who I genuinely think would win each game. And this is what I came up with. And in this scenario, to me, the Chiefs are the favorites. They're the favorites in the AFC, not the Titans. And that they could even make it to the AFC Championship and not have to play the Titans. Eagles by 20. No, that's not happening. Dallas over San Francisco. Yeah, I think the Dallas-San Francisco game is probably the best game. If it's not the Patriots-Bills game, it's the Dallas-San Francisco game. That's going to be an amazing game. But I'm taking the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys have an overall better team. Their offense is better. And I think their defense, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I think the Cowboys defense is actually better than the 49ers defense. They're not more talented than them, but they've been better when you adjust for strength of opponent this season because the Cowboys passing defense has been good. The 49ers have a better run defense than the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys have a better pass defense than the 49ers, which to me gives them an overall better defense because passing defense matters more than run defense. But I think it's going to be a good game. And honestly, either side could win. Either side could win. Again, I think the NFC, there's a lot more debate to be had in the NFC than the AFC. How do you think Waller does tonight? I think Darren Waller is going to do very well. I think he's going to be a big part of the game. Feel that to Chargers fans. The Rams just can't count out Tom Brady. Yeah, agreed. I did it last year too. I counted him out. Last year I went 11 out of 13 picking playoff games. One of the games I got wrong was the Browns or the Steelers. It was the Browns or the Steelers. I don't know why I'm blanking on it now. Might have been the Steelers in round 1 last year. Were they in the playoffs last year? And then it was the Super Bowl. I got the Super Bowl wrong. I took the Bucs over the Chiefs. I mean, I took the Chiefs over the Bucs. And look, I'm doing it again. I'm doing the same thing. But yeah, I'm not picking against the Chiefs. I'm not picking against the Chiefs. They have the best quarterback. They have the best offense. I'm not picking against them. Are the Jets Super Bowl contenders? Maybe in the next 10 years, the Jets could get there. Maybe if you widen the time horizon for the Jets. But I think Darren Waller is going to play well tonight. I think he's going to play well. Guys, I got a few more minutes on the live. Mahomes is overrated ASF. No, he's just not. He's just not. It's better. It's just better to get on board with Mahomes now. Just do it now. Like, so many people are still doing this with Tom Brady. It's like we've had 20 years of Tom Brady dominance, and you're still not going to admit that Tom Brady is the GOAT. Like, I think it's similar with Mahomes. Like, that's how good Mahomes is. Like, if you don't think Mahomes is good, you're really just wrong. You're just wrong. Like, he is very good. He is very good. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, talent-wise, just period. Rodgers had a better season than him. Brady had a better season than him. But if I'm heading into the playoffs and choosing one quarterback, and I get to choose one quarterback, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, 100% over Rodgers and Brady. Tom Brady is better. Obviously, Mahomes is good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about all-time quarterback. I'm just talking about right now. Brady's obviously the best quarterback of all time. That is just not up for debate at all. But I think Mahomes has a real chance to end his career as the greatest QB of all time. Quick live today. Yeah, it was quick live today. It was a quick live. But as you can see, I got a lot of work to do. I'm working through the weekends right now. There's more to a team than a QB, 100%. I mean, that's why the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl last year. Amazing QB with no one to throw to. I mean, does Mahomes really have no one to throw to, or are you talking about Tom Brady this time? Because obviously Mahomes has someone to throw to. He's got plenty of guys. And it'll be very interesting to see how the receivers hold up for the Bucs. Obviously, no Antonio Brown, that's a huge loss. Huge loss. People aren't just saying Cowboys will lose because it's a funny trend, but won't put them. Yeah. I don't think the Cowboys are going to lose. It seems like the majority of people are on the 49ers. But, yeah. How long will it take for the Falcons to be good again? Any team can be good again within 3 years. Any team. It's possible. You just need to find the right coach, GM, and quarterback, and then you can do it. Chiefs got Kelsey, yeah, and Tyreek Hill, and some guy named Tyreek Hill. But they honestly, the Chiefs are not losing. The Bucs are not losing in this first round. 49ers winning. They could win. They could definitely win. Yeah, I will be live briefly tomorrow. I'll probably do about an hour of live before each day of the playoffs. Titans beating the Chiefs. No, I don't think so. Juju activated off IR. Yeah, that was very surprising to me. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to talk about that. When I saw that, I was didn't even realize that was a possibility. I don't know why I was overlooking Juju for so long. Maybe I just was not considering the Steelers' real playoff team. But Juju Smith-Schuster is healthy enough to play in the wild card round. But apparently he's unlikely to be activated. So they were hoping that he was going to be activated. He's close. Apparently he's close. But they're not planning on it right now, apparently. So there's a chance that Juju plays in the game. And if the Steelers win, which they're not going to win, then he could play next week. The Buccaneers are going to lose. No, I don't think so. He was activated. Oh, he was activated. That's not was it recently? Let me check Twitter. Twitter will be faster. He tweeted he will play. Juju is playing. Yeah, he was. Wow, that's crazy. because I was just reading the last report. That last report I just read to you, that came out 2 nights ago, saying that he was hoping to play but unlikely to play. And now we got, I want to find the official source. If you're in the YouTube live, can you guys link out the official source of the Juju news? Was he the official source? I think TikTok Live said he was the official source. Juju Smith-Schuster says he's playing on Sunday. God answered my prayers, and I've recovered from my season-ending shoulder injury. Season-ending. I was right. It was a season-ending shoulder injury. Earlier than expected. What is with these insane recovery timelines? This is amazing. I mean, I'm here for it. Cam Akers beats a torn Achilles in 6 months. J.J. Watt tears something in his shoulder, or he's back. Juju Smith-Schuster recovered from his season-ending shoulder injury earlier than expected. I can't believe I got another chance to take the field with this team and play in a playoff game to keep our season alive, Steelers Nation. Juju is back, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Again, the Steelers have no chance to win this game, but it's pretty cool. I'm happy for Juju. Because I believe, I could be wrong about this, but I believe this is the last year in his contract, too. He signed a 1-year deal, I think. So it's cool that he gets to play another game as a Steeler, especially if he doesn't end up coming back next season. Juju's still not as good as Deontay. No, agreed. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you on that. Deontay Johnson has been the wide receiver 1 for the Steelers really for the last 2 years. Yeah, so it looks like 2022, he's an unrestricted free agent. He's an unrestricted free agent after the season. So I was right about that. So it's cool that Juju is going to get to come back for another game. That would be crazy if Juju was a Patriot next year. Rodgers week 1 greater than Juju. I don't really get the take there. Yeah, the Rams are an interesting sleeper as well. I'm not going to lie. I said this at the beginning of the stream, and I only have a few minutes left, but I was saying this at the beginning of the stream again. Yeah, I agree, though. Book it with Ferg. I agree with you. I think that Juju will end up staying on the Steelers. It feels like that's just where he wants to be, and that does have a pretty big impact on things. Like, if it's where he wants to be, then he might once again take a slightly worse deal and just stay with the Steelers. Though, I will say, why does he want to be on the Steelers? They have zero plan at quarterback. None. Not a very good thing for a wide receiver. But I do think that's what he wants. And if that is what he wants, that's what's going to happen, most likely. It is most likely. But I said at the beginning of the stream, I'll wrap up, I think, with this final thought today. I will be live tomorrow for an hour as well before the games. But there's not a single team with more pressure on them in the playoffs than the Los Angeles Rams. Not a single team. They have sold out for this season. If they lose in a first-round exit or even in a round 2 exit, it was a fail. This is a Super Bowl or bust team, and they cannot afford to lose in the first round. That's part of the reason I'm taking them over the Cardinals. And it's also part of the reason, like, they have the talent that if they got hot, the Rams could really make some noise. Do you think the Chiefs have enough of a running game? Yeah, I do. I honestly just don't think running matters that much. Darrell Williams, though, should do well. I think that Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Do you have that up there? The Patriots will beat the Bills? Crazy talk. Yeah, it's Mac and Jones. Mac and cheese, Mac Jones season. We're eating our mac and cheese for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. But I actually do think the Patriots, the reason they could beat the Bills is not because of mac and cheese, Mac Jones. It's because the Patriots' run offense is the strength of their team, and the Bills' run defense is the weakness of theirs. And 0 degrees only helps both those things. Mac Jones is a statue. Yeah, it's not totally wrong. I think Mac Jones, like, his over-under is 180 passing yards, which is not a lot, and I think he'll probably be under that. So we'll see. We will see. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. Good luck with your playoff predictions. The free player prop pick of the day, if you missed it, it was Joe Mixon, over 74.5 rushing yards. He had 120 yards against the Raiders and 30 carries the last time they played. Guys, good luck today. I'll be back live tomorrow. And again, if you haven't yet, check out the link in my bio. It takes you 2 seconds. And vote for us to win the Best Social Media Content Award. Really do appreciate that. It takes you 2 seconds. Guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mac and cheese, Mac Jones, guys. Good luck. Thanks for tuning into the live, YouTube live. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the true OG YouTube Live subscribers. I really do appreciate it, guys. Good luck today. Go Mac and Cheese, Mac Jones, and we'll talk tomorrow.